cause major shake up. But what we are seeing today in Ghana, no, we should learn from the developed countries. The judiciary as it is, no, it is not your baby, it is an arm of government. I'm not for compare the position of the EC chair to that of the CJ. It is neither here nor there. The CJ's position is an arm of government that you don't need to interfere in their affairs. Right. You can never equate what happened under the EC. No, it has become an albatross on an akufo-addo's neck. On to me, popani di emfiu ne emfiu wechina eyade abedaho. Na Bible say nipa ye wade nyina ho kwan na nsu nyina ne fata. Kwan bi wo wa etini wo nipa ni so. Na nsu na wiye no.
All right, so Fordjour, Shadrack, and Nkomo, that was on the CG's issue. Chief Justice Assembly. Free SHS versus free sanitary pad. One major policy, akufo-addo buying, and a legacy at Daho, intimate people. This government by Yatite the Echo, and I know Clement Park, so at Tobacco, Minister of Education, CC. Omoko from level 100. Sika omeyeso mbe refund. After most omunya, aye insemibre. Free SHS, free sanitary pad. I know often say, is it a good initiative?
On say NDC buy no e come ewom. E come e de omo pa. Some of omo policies ni no be omo ya. You clearly see say let's create an avenue where we can get money and squander.
Because sanitary pad no per me research and sanitary pad is I do 15-20.
Nebo no
bako
yeah 15-17 yeah 20 cities are common
a course one a form.
Yes,
it is a sanitary pad. Let's take it as 20 cities or baby abuninsa bosome 1 month or 5 days in the pad no to me use bako 20 cities they be cry day aka but this sanitary pad no one per the course. One per the course this initiative no 140 cities.
140 cities. Wow.
And NDC for the DG Ghana.
The DG Ghana for.
And 140 sanitary pad. I debate in this country. So are you helping our Nkwadana war secondary school and I say who come mine?
I won't say this issue. I think when MPP was on power, no, there is this there's this NDC woman. Our Nenukunya issue. The lawyer. Yeah, some of them, a lot of group of them, they are always advocating. So I buy any year to a sanitary part. So I'm number one advocate of that particular policy. Say, so buy no Ghana for which 3 years. There is no need government will take this money to venture into this project. A buy no has 2 options. So one, yes, this sanitary part, no, the lack of it, no. A must school colano ain't mean school, and I say, Omunyo menses they need to stay home all those periods, which is true. We are not some of them. Most people, it is true. You me say I was say a bona century na turn na ne board, you know. The main reasons is because yes say ne boy edin. And a man for advocate say and can buy any tour I was in free so because it also considered as a nuisance tax. Said they not NDC be taxing machete condoms and all those things, you know. Some you a ma a boom son. And your man akwache kwache to say be person busumi you boom is 5 days. Nyankopon say it is no fault of theirs. And Tiaban had 2 options. One, if the same could be all the taxes I what sanitary part so free so amane bona from a so affordable that people can patronize it. The second thing is that and then the government is setting up a good board with the proud motive set or stabilizing the dollar or per se or new maiden na the fight again between the dollar and the cedi no stabilize. This is a clear opportunity. Looking at the unemployment rate in this nation, a government will not budget 280 million Ghana cedis and go and give it to why a supply sanitary party. Who is supplying it? All these details need to come out and this is person supplying it. Okay, before I came and started this morning, there is your production line, sanitary pad production line. The prices, some of them produce 150 pieces per minute. No, per minute they produce 150 minutes. That is so in 1 hour no. They produce 150 times 60 of that piece, about 2,000 something, 2,400 of that every hour. The cost of that machine, no, I know, the production, $250,000. And in a bad way, ewo pepa ewo regime say opese okriti or ye or the employment no or clear unemployment free one of the biggest game changer I would have thought this government any nipa quarters boss up would have taken this then this 280 million Ghana cedis at least Yemfam build the big three production lines of sanitary pad in this nation. When him say yetimi the board there ne a process a sanitary pad. What it means is that planting for food and jobs, most of these raw materials, can also be channeled into that sector to do this production, clearing the unemployment rate in this nation and also stabilizing the city because 2023 there's a company Oba Kaso area almost produces sanitary pad from the analysis no say Ghana we need about 350 million to 400 million pieces of sanitary pad a year. Wow. So it is a big market when you look at because some you use it you cannot reuse it again. So we are looking forward to see say President Mahama in an attempt to also be to create jobs and this 280 million Ghana cedis na the actual budget on finance at least say even a one company now put it up, produce it, and now increase the tariffs on those that are importing it so that this one will be subsidized. They will for you on the 10 cities. Now some of them that are even producing at a higher cost, they will give the government contracts, say produce for us. Or the government in an attempt to create jobs, this monies could have been given to individuals to set up production companies. COVID by any producing hand sanitizer and so you think that Ghanaians cannot produce when we have existing companies? So why would the government not even invest this money in this company? No country say I am taking all the taxes of these companies, and even for the next 10 years, I am not taxing all these companies producing this sanitary pad. And your raw materials, the majority of them needs to come from some of the farm produce. Cotton is one of them. Nanka yamfa galam say side near reclaim. Yamfa more of cotton. Nanka sabiu yama depending on say when I've even finished producing this product may a ready market for it, but to tell you say John Mahama is not ready to create employment or create businesses, he took this money, handed all over to one person, say afimuni for supply sanitary pad you see a teacher with TV where our wasem any asifin say emrantie young boy we are giving it to them say a biscuit and I say a pan and I say a day. Be market cheap to the videos are there. I don't sit here to speculate.
Sanitary pad.
Young boys, no what time man say bona biscuit so on or don't quiet the day. Among for people who are making agitation say sabio ahokyere ewo nkrasie ene ade John Mahama in his campaign prior to 2024 elections what advocate say ye be set up women's bank. Let me say I want say how much money was allocated to the establishment of women bank. That is 50 million Ghana cedis which cannot even it is not 8 times you need 8 times of that for some by your friend is saying the capitalization of a bank that is 400 million Ghana cedis. To be able to set up a bank, you need that money to set up a bank. And this is what paper says you and I just say I am going to give this 300 almost 280 million. I'm investing into the women's bank. You can give each market woman offer a mass 60,000 of them. Don't give the money to mass work and ordinary politics. Give these monies to commercial banks and rural banks. They should issue these loans to market women at ABR, no rate or at a variable flexible interest rate. You can give 5,000 Ghana cedis out of this money to 60,000 women in this nation. Jamisa will say, we'll set a mass 60,000 up. No what teacher free sanitary pad, which every year it will be a budget. My friend is saying cost on this nation. Now setting my phone in up. What your costs can for massive you, but be a wire system. Go and give these monies to these women and let them set up. Sub you will be one of the banners want me top part of 15, 17 cities manner. That's a be a one of us over and also.
And Quadano cross so. And Quadano so cram man be now support rejected.
Yes, a man part no uses.
Akraba kukran so de bema ba call GB. Ibuzanzo the corridor or so the kobo. I mean, what you say? I don't know. And a man for crisis say a NDC for Sakawa some dear ma into your part in the moment. A whole lot of issues about it. But I think that say NDC is serious. And I'll be say I did that so about rumor. I don't see the policy
on the on the surface,
for the sake of time,
on politics now,
okay.
You would think say it's a good policy, but already we are NDC a boy could you free teachers now by now first 4 months I did best of a teacher part now a video because the president of a sitting country saying no man penima a map I say no I talk us through what say to us. Some you want to say NDC for who's and why Yana you man was a film I never ferry who was Donald Trump and as a white president try your buzzy no attempt try to buy it was a institute what do we call it? Tomato production plants, $150 million. You go to Akuma, they go to Navungwa. You can set up these companies there and invest heavily in this production. Now to my God,
for records, Burkina Faso soldier president, the entire Burkina Faso road network is not even up to 3,000 kilometers.
As
it stands now, he's adding up to almost 5,000 in addition.
Yes,
within a short time. Wakra Metro Mass buses, about 500 pieces
of them. Your policy for the buy.
Yes.
Metro Mass. And the policy is still existing. It's Mahaman and NDC4 out of hypocrisy and main kind of say your money so do no any actually number say your mama basso some of the pardon now ban you won't be there. SM1.
All right.
So policy will can be sustained. ABC I was in the next 5 years. You better buy with him about because of a teacher part of many people. I don't know, I'm saying, come to me. I don't know, I did chat this a year. I'm going to tell you, I'm microphone. No money of you. You're mad. The sense of responsibility enter Ghana for so school fees and will be to hand out movie or complain. We don't buy a part and a water.
But what they amount of so much because they can't say Muntaka pension so much chess as sanitary.
That be part. And this is funny part. Something. Yeah. So much chess part.
Part. All right. For the sake of time, thank you, Tor. Dr. Baumia, Honorable Ken, other aspirants joining together. For we na yemfensi e beto aso da for.
Okay, you heard thank you to no. Me in my personal opinion. Me thank you to no. Na Vitian say former vice president and na Attorney Safra for fresh ombra. I think he didn't have that capacity to do that. But people will not understand you because the party goes back to the national party chairman, only the leader of the party. So that statement shouldn't even have come from me, especially in a time that we feel and the reality is that the party has been so much disintegrated. And him as a leader, our dear core election, so you couldn't go Potono. I think this thing shouldn't have come from him. My first point on this thank you to American husband said, the name thank you to, and when you have to comment thank you to, I think I can apology to. Okay. I say a call a chopper because thank you, you may say I was said between immunity and in the Pekabantino. Or Moko Abantin said, or Moko thank you to a chopper, and then I said, in the doors room. A chop on the doors and say and then he pass it. Because you had a vote of about 6.7 million MR from 2020 as party national executives, any regional and from saying executives. Esha Musa say a bino abakunyaso. Ya 12 baby, ya winning election. You 137 seats. Ya winning election was almost about 6.something million. Ya the Ashamunsa says this be when you be more say monochrono. What about also? In the history of this nation, a first time president we are about also. Maybe I'm going to say Dr. Baumia a first timer in Germany. But I also want to tell those people say Dr. Baumia is the most advertised politician in this nation. From 1992, you're a politician, you're born who do, you're showcasing so much in this nation. Is Dr. Baumia, and not because I'm sitting on the two. That is the fact. He was appointed to be a running mate of Nana akufo-addo in 2008. From 2008 to 2024, how many years? 16 years. He was never changed as even when Nana went on 2 times. He was never changed. He was still kept. From that time, he has been a vice president. He has been one of the most popular vice presidents in this Fourth Republic. That is a fact. Yeah. And the performance Dr. Baumia gave us in that elections, I will tell you that he has really, really failed us as a party. The National Executive Council has also failed us as a political party because you don't submit such a candidate to us. No one to me, where we combined losses between 2024 no is almost about 2.2 million because NDC for 1.7 million. Yanka say vote winning in 2020 no difference that of NDC near 500,000. And Lucy that you voting of 500,000 no. As I Lucy 1.7 million to NDC. We lost 2.2 million votes. Now, some you will be a dear Jumasha on South Bakaya. You will not even venture and dare to represent the people again. As in Kanimaniano, National Executive, they should resign. Share now on the thank you turn. Yes, I call Professor Makukwe committee or Makofa the reasons why we lost this election, which I think say not a winning say about institute that because Obi and any down party Mubia no he knows the reason why we lost this election. Proud to say about Traban. We were sitting here and we were saying some of these things. What Dr. Babia is saying today, and some man said you are back in Agyapong. I can even proud to election say GDP program now more you live it is going to take us to opposition, and this is the time Dr. Babia he was the head of the economic agency. It's no names I want to that time. The issues on betting tax, or the mayor campaign. Let me say, what was his role as the head of the economic agency? Yeah, this money in the system. What was he say about that? And we have seen under this whole thing that people are trying to project themselves, whilst other people are calling for peace. And some are also say levy, betting tax, the arrogance of power near the Ninjano. Where was he's the one mentioning it, and I can tell you with that saying, I can tell you with that doubt say near my Dr. Bomi Bosono. They are the content of the report. Sansa Dr. Bomi Bosono saying last 2 weeks they would have the national exam would have called you. But this is the time we are saying some of these things. Or for General said some of these things, no matter how you say it, and that is the reality. Okay. Almost say the party membership, no, I abandoned party, no. Let me say, what was the party doing to its members? When we had power, we had issues. Party chairman for national executive issues. But Monko constituency, you never did any of these things. Now, strong words, strong words. What was the attitude? Okay. Prior to elections, NDC could spend, MPP could spend 21 days, 3 weeks. Kumasi. Somebody in the party here would have spent that number of days in Kumasi. We realized that. 2023 afena no kutwa ahomom se okwakoye so amitechi sebi nipa na omone nam kumasa no ye de crazy no go madwene ho you were around this area doing development na mutwa na moye be say aban bia baso on developing the strongholds kwakwan amko you go other places when you have left your stronghold the kwan wasem na ko ka kire na na dan kwa say antwa forces mo am ye mo kwan am to aba o ka kire mo clean. Some about 2 months to me and family home. Now because I said we now losing election. Now we be say you career the great year you lose election. All right. What about buying for 8 years? Nipa the ministers won't me and your for that group.
I think that they will correct looking at they will correct all the mistakes. The so far they are saying this, they will be